I took a walk as I'm checking the mail at work, and on my stroll, I've always wanted to stop by this little book thingy. You know how sometimes streets have book thingies that you can like exchange books? Like you can take a book, but you must leave one in exchange, you know? And I was drawn to this one. The 5 First Saturdays and the Reparation to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Why was I drawn to this? Well, the religious aspect. I was raised Catholic. And also the first 5 Saturdays. Why Saturdays? I was drawn to the word Saturdays because I am currently, right now, literally this morning, I was writing down my schedule in preparation for a sweat lodge I'm going to be taking part in, right? And it's going to be on a Saturday. So when I saw the first 5 Saturdays, I was drawn to it. I randomly opened it to a page, and as I'm finishing the passage at the bottom, it says, "It is not so very hard to go without an occasional cigarette or some other little pleasure. It is not so very hard or difficult to go without a little drink sometimes when we are thirsty, or to keep back an unkind or hasty word or criticism. It does not cost us much, and it ought not to cost us anything. To give up a few minutes to tell our Lord, our God, the universe, your creator, in the tabernacle, that we love him. It does not take so very long to say the extra rosary. There are many little ways of pleasing Our Lady and making sacrifices, as the 3 little shepherds of Fatima found out, and then acted so generously. Nevertheless, the only sacrifice binding on us is to do our duty well." I know there's some words in there that seemed religious and might turn some people off, because as I'm reading it, I found that some parts of me were turned off by it. But whenever I read religious words or something like that, I just interpret them as I interpret it differently. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it's like our Lord and like, you know, like the whole praise and stuff like that. I just, you know, shift it to the extra rosary, and that we love him. Just the little sacrifices. Earlier it was just talking about sacrifices that we make for people that we love, and in the book that I was listening to earlier, it was also talking about the divine will help you achieve your goals and your dreams when it is aligned with the greater good of all. Does that make sense? And this is what this is saying, you know, do your duty well, and the sacrifice of it all. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I love connecting things, and I love when things connect like this. Unfortunately though, I was walking and a client saw me, and she stopped and she was like, "Layla, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just walking here." And she's like, "Sure," you know, and I'm like, it was funny to read that. I forgot to like connect it all so it can make sense to you. It was funny to read that because I was just texting somebody and I was like, man, that's going to be hard to abstain from cannabis 72 hours before the sweat, but I'm going to do it, you know. And I was typing, I'm gonna try, but then I remembered what my father says when he quotes Yoda, like, there's no try, you either do or you don't. So and then I read that, you know, it's not so hard to abstain from a cigarette or a drink when you're thirsty, because you also have to fast before the sweat lodge the evening before. I kind of want to challenge myself to do it the whole day before, but maybe I'll just start like in the afternoon. I'll have like a big breakfast, and then I'll just, you know, wait till the next day. We'll break the fast after the sweat, you know, with the potluck. I think I'm walking the wrong way back to work. My sense of direction is shit, but yeah, it's this way. But yeah, so that's why it was funny to read that, like, it's not so hard to abstain, and I'm over here like, it's gonna be so hard to abstain, you know, and the sacrifices that we make for the greater good. Look, I know this is kind of woo-woo to look at it, but whenever we find time to dedicate to ourselves, and if you're someone that's a practitioner in healthcare or a healer of sorts, or even a fucking mom, anybody that's of service, when you dedicate time for yourself, self-care, that in turn helps you take care of other people better. So me going to the sweat lodge and honoring the practices of fasting and abstaining from cannabis and other drugs, you know what I mean, for 72 hours, all of that, I feel like that is a sacrifice. You know, that's what I was saying, that you can apply these principles in any way that it works for you. You don't have to go like full religious on it, you know what I mean? I'm still kind of making sure I'm going the right way. I'm like, my sense of direction is shit, y'all. I went to Burning Man in 2022, and there was no Google that I could Google myself around. with, and it was so difficult getting around. But anyways, yeah, you guys have a beautiful, wonderful existence. I'm walking back to work now, and doing the mail thing that I said I was going to do. But you see, I was just following the yellow brick road, knowing that I was walking over there for a reason, and I forgot that that's where the little book thing was. So I just got to work, and I knew that I needed like a little walk or something before getting to it, you know, because I felt just like, you know, I'm like, I'm not going to be of service to my clients. Let me go take some time and then come back, you know. I think legally in California, we're allowed 2, 10 or 15-minute breaks, you know what I mean? So here I am. But yeah, have a beautiful, wonderful existence. Aliens, Balians, kings, queens, and in-betweens. Like, subscribe, comment, keep the conversation flowing and glowing, and keep growing through what you go through. Bye.
Okay,